guys, for tonight's homework, just so you know, I'm recording this yesterday, so it would have been yesterday. It's the night before this lesson. So I anticipate that your homework is going to be to graph year 2. So I'm going to show you an example of how to graph year 1. So year 1, if I had time in class, I would have already done this in class with you, but just so that you have a video on how to graph for year 2. So again, this example is showing you year 1, but for homework, you should have to graph year 2. So I'm going to show you how to graph, but it's not going to be the correct one. So don't necessarily copy me. I'm just showing you how to plot the points and how to draw your graph. Okay, so for yours, it should say year 2. Yours should look something like this, where it says year 2. But I'm going to show you on year 1. Okay, so first off, what you need to do, because it's going to look small, you need to go to View, you need to go to Zoom, and you need to go to Zoom In. Okay, and then again, you're going to control your screen by either dragging this to the side or dragging this up and down. All right, so just a reminder on the graph, here are our axes. On the x-axis, you have the months. So this x-axis represents one entire year. It starts in January, ends in December. So every single mark on this graph represents a month. And notice the months go in order: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So without looking at the months, I know that this first line represents January, then it's February, March, April, and so on. Okay, now let's look at the y-axis. So you notice there are two y-axes. There's this y-axis where it normally is, and then you have a y-axis on the other side that represents something else. So if we look at this first y-axis, this is the daylight length in hours. So as we went over our chart, we saw that there's the column, the fourth column, which is daylight hours. So that is going to be represented with your red dots, okay? So that's going to be your red. And then on this y-axis, we have this, that is the sun's angle in degrees, and that represents this column here. That's going to be your blue dots. So first, we're going to graph the daylight length in hours per month. So if we go to our chart, we see January. In January, remember, we're looking at daylight hours. The daylight hours was 9.7. Now, this has decimal points, so we know that 0.5 is halfway between. So anything above 0.5 is going to be higher than the middle point, and then anything below 0.5 is going to be lower. So let me show you. This is 9.7. So 0.7 is larger than half. So this is going to go more than halfway. All right, so to pick my points, notice how it had those 4 squares. I don't want those blue squares. So I'm going to hover over. I'm not clicking. I'm going to hover until I see my arrows that are going in 4 directions. It looks almost like a cross. And once it goes into a cross, so it's a cross, I'm going to click it once. Now it turns into that. So I'm going to wait until, if I try to move this, see how my circle gets bigger? I don't want that. So I'm going to go to undo. So if that happens, just keep on hovering until you see the cross. So, and if you can't do it, I'm just going to unclick. Okay, so I'm going to click it and I'm going to hold it down. When I clicked it once and let go, then it kind of acted weird. So I'm holding it down and now I'm going to drag it. So this is 9.7. So remember, this first line represents January. So here is 9, here is 10. So 9.7 is going to be close to 10. So I'm going to put it about right there. And I'm going to click away and there's my point. So 10.9 is almost like 11, and that is for February. So I'm going to move this over, and I see that my months are also going in order here. So for February, I have 10.9. Now, remember, this is January. This next line is February, and it is a 10.9, and 10.9 is very close to 11, so I'm going to put my dot there. Next one is 12.2. I'm going to click it, hold it down, and drag it. So next one is 12.2, which is just above a 12. Next one is 13.6. I'm going to put it just a little bit more than halfway. Then you have 14.8 up here. Then we have 15.2 right here. And then we have 14.8 right here. It's the same one as the 2 months before. Then we have 13.6, which is right here. And notice each month is a different line. Then you have 12.2, which is right here. Then 10.8, which is right here. 9.6, which is here. And then we have 9.1, and that's December, which is like right there. Okay, so I plotted my points. As we see, it kind of makes a curve. Now, I may not have plotted them precisely where they go, but I plotted them pretty close to where they go. Okay, so now I need to connect the dots. So here's what you're going to do. So listen carefully. You are going to go to this. So for yours, it should look like a straight line first. You're going to go to the arrow down. Then you're going to go all the way down to where it says curve. There's curved connector. You don't want that one. You want curve. So I'm going to click curve. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on each of the red dots. So I'm going to click, 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 click. And then this last one, you are going to double click. So you're going to click twice. Click, click. Okay, so now I'm finished. So there, it drew my line. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to do the blue ones. So again, we're doing January through December. Just to remind you, my x-axis is January through December, but this time I'm looking for sun's highest angle. This y-axis was daylight length. The sun's highest angle is on the other side, so I'm going to follow these numbers now. Okay, so I'm going to go to January, and January is 28.4. So again, I'm going to drag this to where it has 28.4. So notice this is by 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. So I am looking for 28.4. If I have 25, then it's probably going to be 26, 27, 28. Now remember, I'm in December's line, so I need to go all the way to the first line, which is January. So 28 is probably there. 28.4 is there. Now remember, it doesn't have to be precise, but very close. Okay, this one's 37.8. I'm going to go here. Here's 35, so 37 is probably here. Then we have 48.2. Here's 45. So 48 is probably here. And then we have 60.2. 60 is right here, so 60.2 is probably there. Actually, it's going to be a lot closer. So there we go. Let me move it just further down, right there. Okay. And then we have 68.4. 68.4 is maybe right there. And then we have 71.6 right there. Then 68.4, so it's repeating these numbers again. Oh, but this one's different. This one is 60.0, so that means it's going to be straight on this line. And then we have 48.6. So 48.6 probably here. And then we have 37.2. Which may be here. And actually this one's probably a little bit higher. Okay. And this one I should go just a little bit this way. All right. And then we have 28.1. And then we have 24.7. That's probably just right here. Okay, and as we see another curved line. So let's graph this one. So this is already on curve, so I don't need to select it again. But if you want to, you can. It's not going to do anything. And now I'm going to click each blue circle. And then remember the last one, you double click. Click, click. Okay, so there's my curve. So that is how you're going to graph year 2. Remember, I just did year 1. You are going to graph year 2. Same thing. All right, and if you need help, watch this video again.